Right, good morning ladies and gents. We've got an audience today. I'm dressed like this. I did wear my Reeboks, as you can see, some nice ones. However, they don't go with what I'm wearing today because I came in wearing a suit as I normally would to school, and then I found out we were doing the Joe Wicks workout. So I went to the Aqua bin and I found this kit. So it's not actually mine, it's a little bit small, but never mind. It was a good workout, we enjoyed it. So this is day 3 of Mr. Birch's Basics. In a moment, I will show you today's 10 questions. So obviously, once you see the questions on the board, just pause it, do the 10 questions, and then obviously play it again, and then I'll put the answers up, pause it again to mark them, and then unpause it, and I'll go through each question one by one, and make sure you're using green pens. Okay, so we've got about 10 students in school today, so they're all in here, easily 2 meters apart each, which is fantastic. They got a green pen each. So as you should have been doing, if you get something, thank you Charlie, if you get something wrong, you need to be making notes next to it. So the next day, when you're doing the questions, you look back at it and you go, oh yeah, right, that's how you do it. Because take it from me, 2 or 3 lessons of doing this, developing that independence, looking back, on week 3 or week 4, sorry, not week 3, lesson 3 or lesson 4 of doing this, you won't need to look back anymore, you would actually have learned that. Okay, that's the mastery and the independence we're looking to build within you. So, there's the questions. I'll leave those up for a few seconds. So obviously you'll pause this now. Okay, so pause it now, pause it in 3 seconds, because then I'm going to put the answers up. 1, 2, 3, so that will be paused. Okay, so welcome back, that's the answers. So using your green pen, tick or cross them. Obviously pause it at this point, so your screen is frozen so you can just see the answers. Don't worry if you got something wrong. I'll go through each one by one, and my glamorous helpers here are going to help you do that. So, we go to the board. We'll start off with the first one. So, ladies and gents, people who are here, did anyone not happy with the first one? Charlie?
Yeah, I was really happy with it.
Okay, did you do any of these lessons the previous couple of days? Okay, so what you would do, Charlie, so what's the question? 5 over 6 divided by 2 over thirds. 5 over 6 divided by 2 thirds. If I write the questions wrong, please tell me, because I'm always doing that, because I do them too quick. Right. Anyone got any idea how to do this one? Go on, Ellie.
Keep, change, flip.
Keep, change, flip. Okay. Keep, change, flip. So Charlie, what you'll do with your question using your green pen, above it, you'd write a K, C, F. But if it's your first time, Charlie, actually write keep, change, and flip. Because KCF might not mean anything to you at this point. Okay? Keep, change, flip. What that means, Charlie, is I keep this one the same. Okay? So that stays as 5 over 6. I change this to the opposite. What's the opposite of divide, please?
Times.
Good lad, times. And I flip this one over. So Jack, what's going to go on top? 3. So it now becomes 3 over 2. Okay. Sophia, one of my favourite sports brands is Nike. What's their slogan?
Tick.
It's a tip. What's their slogan? Anyone know it? Go on.
Just do it.
Just do it. When we've got multiplying fractions, we just do it. 5 times 3 is?
15.
Boom, 15. 6 times 2 is? 12. I've got 15 twelfths. Bradley, how many twelfths in a whole one? How many twelfths in a whole one? It's all right to say, if you don't know, just say don't know. Perfect, that's okay. How many quarters in a whole one? 4, good lad. How many, so therefore, if there's 4 quarters in a whole one, how many twelfths in a whole one? No? Okay. Josh?
Is it 1?
How many twelfths? Anyone? Amy? 12. There's 12 twelfths in a whole one. Okay. How many sevenths in a whole one? Perfect. How many fifths in a whole one? Okay. If there's 7 sevenths and 12 twelfths, how many fifths? 5. Nice one. How many 11ths in a whole one? 11. Okay. We're getting there. Lovely. So, 15 twelfths. 15 twelfths. How many 12s go into 15? Anyone? 1. And how many's left over? 3. 3 what though? 12ths, because 3 what's on the bottom? 3 twelfths. Okay? But we always present fractions in their, thank you, in their simplest form. How do you notice? Can I simplify that?
Yeah.
I can. How do you know?
Because 3 gives me 12.
Good. So what number goes into both 3 and 12? 3 does. How many 3's in 3? Yep, thank you, 1. Okay? 1 and 1. How many 3's going to 12? 4. 1 and 1/4. So Charlie, what you would do now is you'd make sure in green you've got your keep change flip. You've shown your first stage of your working. Okay? Timesing that. Then you've shown this, and then you're going to simplify. Okay? Well, that's not really simplify, is it? What type of fraction is that at the moment?
Improper.
Nice one, improper. So I want to convert it to
Mixed.
mixed. So you're going to convert and then simplify. Okay? So in green, if you got that wrong, you need to pause it now and make those notes. So next lesson you can do this independently. Anyone got any questions?
Isn't it easier to simplify before you convert?
Nice. So absolutely, Amy, if I can simplify that before I convert, that would be ideal. However, sometimes you can't, and at the moment I just want to get kind of one through way of doing things. But I could have actually simplified that there by dividing it by 3, couldn't I? So what would it be here, Amy? If I simplified it here, what would this be? It'd be
5 over 4.
5 over 4. How many 4's in 5? 1 and 1. Same answer, okay? So you can simplify there, or you can wait to the end. Doesn't matter, whatever tickles your fancy. Cheers. Nice one, thanks for that, Amy. Question 2. Anyone not happy with question 2? Okay, nice one. Thank you. For always important to be honest. 8.8 squared. Do you know what squared means? Okay, hands up if you don't know what squared means. Okay, tell them what squares means, Charlie.
Means to multiply by itself.
Multiply. So 8.8 squared just means 8.8 times 8.8. Okay, just like if we had 4 squared, what's that asking you to do?
4 multiplied by 2.
No, times it by itself. If 8.8 squared is 8.8 times 8.8, 4 squared is going to be 4
Multiplied by itself.
multiplied by, perfect. So what are you going to tell me to write, Kieran, for 3 squared? This was that, this was that. This is going to be,
3 multiplied itself.
so what's itself?
3.
Good. So 7 squared you'll tell me to do?
7 times 7.
Nice. 10 squared you'll tell me to do?
7 times 10.
Nice. So you would write in green a little note to yourself, little arrow, and then maybe a little bubble. People in my class who know like little arrows and bubbles. Just means times by itself. What that means is tomorrow when this question crops up again, you'll look back and go, oh, I just timed it by itself. Okay? So 8.8 times 8.8, that's tricky, isn't it? Why don't I like that?
Because it's decimal.
It's got decimals. What do I need to do, Ellie? What do I need to do?
Take out the decimal.
Take out the decimal. So we go take 1 out there, 1 out there. It becomes 88 times 88. Okay? And I'm going to use this method. Eight times 8 is 64. I've not been explicit about this, but remember in the top goes your tens, in the bottoms goes as units. So 8 times 8, 64. 8 times 8?
64.
Good. 8 times 8? There's a pattern here, isn't there? 8 times 8. Okay, so in this channel, add this channel up, please. Shout it out.
4.
4. This channel?
14.
So what did you do? Just put 14?
No, carry the 1 over.
Good. Came on 1 over. This channel? 6?
7.
17. Okay. This channel?
7.
Carry the 1 is 7. So I've got 7744.
Add the decimals.
Nice one. If I took the decimal points out, I've got to put back in. How many did I take out?
2.
So how many do I put back in?
2.
77.44. All good? This video is definitely going to be longer than the others, sorry. Got to do it properly with people in the room. 3 to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is always
1.
1. Who said 1? Did you say 1, Charlie? You know that, good lad. So anything to the power of 0 is always 1. Okay, so write a little green note to yourself. Anything to the power of 0 is always 1. What about something to the power of 1? What is that?
It's itself.
Good, so same note. Anything to the power of 1 is always itself. So 7 to the power of 1 will be 7. Okay, I remember that, because if I said 3 squared. What does 3 squared mean, Brian?
3 times
3 times 3, well done, you know that now. So 3 times 3, look, there's a little 2 there, it means I've got 2 3s. 3 to the power of 1, I'm only going to write 1 3. 3 to the power of 3, I'm going to write 3 3s, and so on. Okay? So pause it, write those notes I just told you to write. That way, next lesson, when you're going through the questions, you can be independent. Okay? Expand x5 minus x. Bradley, what does the bracket mean that we have to do? Top man, I need to multiply. So what's going to go here, please? Anyone?
5x.
Is that a... Yeah, 5x. And x times x is x squared. A positive times a negative is a negative. 5x minus x squared. Everyone good with that? Okay. What would a positive times a positive be? Good. What would a negative times a negative be?
Positive.
Good. Express the speed. Oh, this one's a tricky one. So Amy and Holly, I'm going to need your help with this one. 72 kilometres per hour. Kilometres per hour. And what does it want it in? Into metres per second. So let's deal with either the time or the distance first. I'm going to deal with the distance first. So Amy or Holly, can you help me out with 72 kilometres per hour into metres per second? Let's deal with the 72 first.
72.
Good. So there's how many metres in a kilometre? 1,000. So it's going to be 72 times 1,000, which is 72,000. Okay, you can use a calculator for this one if you need to. So 72,000. So what have I just worked out? I've worked out 72,000 metres per hour. Good. Do I want metres per hour? No. What do I want?
Meters per second.
Good. So how am I going to go from hours to seconds?
Divided by 60.
Good. Just once. Hours. How many seconds in an hour? That's hard. I need a little jump first. I need like a little. I can't go straight from here to there. I need a little stepping stone. What am I going to go to? Your hours, seconds. What's in between them?
Minutes.
Minutes. So I need to divide 70,000 by 60. Okay. Happy with that? Okay. So use a calculator for that. Someone do that in a calculator. What is it? Something like 12,000 a minute. Okay. We could do it. So what we've got 72,000 divided by 60 is 1,200. Equals 1,200. So I've got 1,200. What have I got now? I've got 1,200. What? Meters per minute. Do I want minutes? No, I want seconds. What have I got to do to it? Times it by divide it by 60. So 12,000 divided by 6, what's that going to be? 20? 20. So divide by 60 equals 20 metres per second. What I recommend you do with that one is slow that one down, watch it a couple of times. These are always tricky. I've used to see year 11 groups who struggle with these. Okay, so do pause that, write notes in green, kind of things like what I've done there, okay? Next up is 15% of £31. 15% of £31. What is my gateway percentage? 10%. So what's 10% of £31?
3.1.
Good, £3.10. So if I know 10%, what can I do to find 5%?
Times it by 5.
Not times it by 5?
Divide by 5.
No. If you've got 10 and you want 5, if I've got 10 sweets and I only want 5, where are you going to...
Half it.
Yeah, okay, you're going to chop them down and you're going to half it, okay? So what's half of £3.10?
£1.55.
Yeah, you're good at this in your head, aren't you? Very nice. I'm not as good as Amy. So what I'd do, I'd go, what's half of £3? £1.50. What's half of 10p? 5p. Put them together, 5% equals £1.55. So 10% of 5%, what we've got to do next? Add them up, and you're going to get £4.65. Okay? So if it asks for 15%, you chunk it 10 and 5. If it asks for 12.5%, you'd find 10%. I'd find 5%, and half the 5% get 2.5%. Add the 10 and the 2.5. Okay? Like I said yesterday, if you're good at percentages in your head, you're never going to be ripped off. Next one, x minus 8. Holly and Amy, you're going to have to help with this. This is a tricky one. Although actually, Ellie, I reckon you could do this now. Ellie, I'm going to ask you this. I've got x on both sides. What's my first step? We've done this recently. As an extension we have. Girls, what's my first step? No, yes, that's right, but in the most basic terms, what's the instruction? I need to, go on, Charlie.
If it's x minus x, you've got to add them together.
Yeah, that's right. You're right, but
Put both x's on the same side.
yeah, I need to get rid of the smallest x, okay? So you lot have very blatantly not been watching my videos. Said that 2 days in a row, you get rid of the smallest x first. So in green, put a little arrow, step 1, get rid of the smallest x. Kieran, which is my smallest x?
Minus x.
Good lad, that's a common mistake. Minus x is like minus 1. X is just like saying 1. So minus x is smaller. How do I get rid of minus x? I add x, but what I do to one side? I do to the other. Even Hugo got that right yesterday in the end. So x add x is 2x, a bit louder.
2x.
2x minus 8 equals 20. Ellie, now you can help me. What's my next step?
Add 8 to 20.
Good, I want to get the x's by themselves, so I need to add 8. But what I do to one side? Yeah, let's do that nice and loud, like a chorus, okay? Ready? Ready, Jack? Gonna give it some. What I do to one side?
Do the other.
Charlie, that was only you. That was beautiful. The rest of you, you're like stones. Ready? What I do to one side?
Do the other.
Loving it. You don't have to go all Cockney though, Charlie. Do to the other. Sound like Fagan. Right, so 2x equals 28. And my last step, Ellie, when I get to there, what do?
Divided by the number of x's.
Yes, Ellie. Tell you what, you've actually learned something this year. Okay, so divide by 2, x equals 14. So, in green, get rid of the smallest x first. Step 1. Step 2, get the x's by themselves. Okay? By doing the inverse operation, and what you do to one side, you do to the other. Inverse means opposite. That was minus 8, so I added 8. But what I did to one side, I did to the other. Same rules all the way through. Obviously, if you get certain questions right, you can just skip to the ones that you need help with. Don't watch me going on for ages. Make x the subject of y equals a over x. What does make the subject mean? Anyone tell me? What, if I make something the subject, what am I looking to do to itself? What am I looking to do to it? Get it by itself. So at the moment, the x has got this a next to it. Okay? So what is happening there? What operation is happening? Sophia, do you know, what does that mean? When you get two letters next to each other, what operation is it telling you to do? Good, excellent, well done. You're timesing them. So what's the opposite of times, Sophia? Good, so I need to divide by a. But what I do to one side,
You do to the other.
right, old geezer Charlie, then. Go to the other, excellent, thank you. So divide by a. Y over a equals x. Happy? Okay, so again you'll be making notes. What is happening to the x, and whatever is happening to the x, you do the opposite. Okay? And you do it to both sides. Nth term of, someone read those out to me, please.
Minus 5, minus 1, 3, 7.
Right, sweet. So what's my first step?
Find what's in between each number.
Thank you, Holly. Find out what's, and what is the rule each time, Holly?
It's going up. Wait, what?
Go up by 4s.
Yeah.
Sometimes I struggle to see what the rule is, because I start here, and these are minuses. The minuses mess with my brain. So if I go to this end, I've got positives. It's much easier to see the rule there, isn't it? And once you think you know the rule, check it here. Okay? So it's going up by 4 each time, isn't it? My board writing is shocking, I'm sorry. It's going up by 4. So once we know the rule, what do we park it next to?
N.
The n. There's the n. I know my rule, I'm going to park it. Okay? So whatever the rule is, you put next to n. That's what you're going to write in green, ready for the next lesson. And how do I figure out what comes next?
The time before.
Good. The term before, I create a new first number. That's your second bit in green. Create a new first number. If you make those two notes, you'll get this right by yourself next time. So, if my rule is going up by 4 each time, this way, what's going to go here?
-9.
-9, well done. Because +4 that way means -4 this way. Okay, so -9. Good, thank you, Amy. What's next? Last one, 20 minus 2
Times 3 squared.
times 2, thank you, times 2. So this is the big maths brackets, indices. Have I got a bracket?
No.
No. Have I got an indice?
Yeah.
Sweet, let's do that first. What's 3 squared? What does 3 squared mean?
Multiply by itself.
Good, so what is 3 multiplied by itself?
9.
He's a boy, well done, lovely. 20 minus 2 times 9. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Step 1 done. 20 minus 2 times 9. Josh, which part of that do I have to do next?
You did 2 times 9.
Good lad. You know, bid maths, B-I-D-M-S. You are, Charlie?
Yeah.
20 minus, what's 2 times 9?
18.
Lovely. 20 minus 18 is?
2.
Boom. Okay, so remember, brackets, indices, divide and multiply, add and subtract in that order. Any questions? Anyone not happy with any of those? So if you made good quality notes, there's no reason why you shouldn't get those all right tomorrow. And I think I'm probably going to call it a day tomorrow on these ones. Maybe I'll do, Ellie, should I do one more? Should I do 5 days or 4? 5 days or 4? You're impartial. Okay. Right. I'll decide. Maybe I'll just toss a coin. Right. Enjoy. Goodbye.